Any ideas?
Hello. Hello. How are you all doing? Are you all good? Why have I got Instagram open still? Hello, happy Sunday evening, everyone. Are you all alright? Everything is a little bit happening. Where is everyone watching from? I'm always intrigued to see where you all are. I'll get that chat nice and big so I can see. Scott Bilcliff, low-key best ever waiting music. It's good, isn't it? It's called Can't Sleep. It's on the YouTube list of, like, YouTube has like a catalogue of songs that you can use. And so if you have a look on there, you will see all the details of who wrote it and such. It's a good one, isn't it? Hello. Ath is from Andover. Braved01 is from Camden. Hey! Okay, so Karina is California. Roman is Kansas. Halti, am I saying that right? Is from Iceland. Ant's from Liverpool. Kyle is still in Washington. Jeff from Seattle. Hello. Miramad says hi from Iran. Hello. Joe Dynamite is from Brooklyn, New York. Hey, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm walking here. Gavin says from the Scotland. The Scotland. Not just Scotland. The Scotland. Mad Alice, hello from South Florida. Devon, hi, is from Ohio. All I know about Ohio is it's big, flat and square, I think. I don't know much about American geography. Tom is in New York State. Gavin watching from Glasgow. Odyssea is from rainy Cambridge. Yeah, it's so cold. Like, it's another like cold, dark, wet day again here in the UK. We had some glorious sunshine over the last few days, which is why loads of people went outside when they shouldn't have. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm chill. It's all good. Nexus is from Belgium. Oh, Mike Schmidt is from Saskatchewan, Canada. Are you from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan? Because that's my favourite place name in the world. Andrew Martinez, hello from Barcelona. Hello, Andrew, again. Adrian Overbury says, can't sleep is ironic when I'm watching at 4 a.m. in Australia. Hello to the Aussies and the New Zealanders. It's sort of more bearable for New Zealanders, because if you're an early waker, at least you can be like, morning stream. But 4 a.m. is a bit... Sorry, Australia. I'm really sorry. This is just the time that I can do it. Samuel Wobble, I'm from Chester, but my loyalty is to Sheffield. Yeah. Well, welcome back to another Q&A stream. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday evening in the UK. Various different times from where you will be watching, obviously. The world is weird at the moment. Currently in the UK, our Prime Minister is explaining what stay alert means, because we've changed from stay home to stay alert. So it's like, yeah, you can kind of go out, which is... I personally think it's very muddy messaging, which will make it harder to control the virus. I'm very much in the stay home, stay safe camp. Only go out if you need to. Particularly as someone, like, being selfish for a second, someone with, like, I'm immunocompromised, so I literally, no matter what the messaging is by the UK government, I have to stay in my house until June. I've been told that by the NHS. It could stretch further, and the thing is that the longer that this goes on, like, the longer that my lockdown will have to be. And like that, I know that there are so many other people in the same position as me. And speaking as someone who last year had to do it, it sucks when you're stuck indoors and everyone else is just out and fine. Like last year I was very ill, and just like being indoors and stuck home when everyone else is just getting on with life is so frustrating, and so many people like live with that. I only had a taste of that last year. So yeah, like do be aware if you're like complaining about, oh, I can't go out and see my friends. It sucks. It really does suck. But there's people who live like that constantly. Like they can't go see their friends because they have a flare up of pain. Like my sister suffers from EDS. And like chronic pain is a thing that comes with that. So yeah, like, oh, Wimpledoodle's very sweet. Stay home for Ellen. #. It's not just for me. It's for every single person out there who's in the same position as me. I'm just someone who is fortunate enough to have a platform to be like, please. And yeah, I really don't like the wishy-washy messaging. If anyone follows me on Twitter, you'll probably know where I stand with my opinion on this government. But hey, I'm not going to go too far into that. But what I am doing right now is, I think above the chat, if you're watching on desktop anyway, it'll be somewhere. I've added this live stream to the fundraiser for the World Health Organization. They've got a fund to help deal with the pandemic. It's all about helping different countries all around the world, giving them resources and planning and helping them to deal with this problem, deal with this pandemic, make sure that they get the PPE stuff, to get the protection that they need, and get the tests, and get like work on a vaccine as well, and all things like that. I think I popped a link in the description to what that actually is. But I selected it from the various YouTube fundraisers that are already going on. Also because this fundraiser, up until $5 million, I believe it is, Google are also donating like matching donations, or giving $1 for every $2 or something. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I thought that's good because that means even more money for the charity. But there are a bunch of really good causes out there. If you can't afford to donate, do not worry. I know that everyone is really struggling right now, and maybe next week I will choose another one. For example, people who work in the arts. It's very difficult. I'm very privileged. I sort of work in the arts with like gaming and stuff, and games media. But YouTube, being able to like live stream from home, being able to write from home, I've got the resources that I need to keep my job going. Not everyone has that. Some people do live stuff in person, and we can't do that right now. So yeah, let's do it. Let's help some people. And if you can't, do not worry. We're all thinking of you, and I would prefer if the government wasn't saying, hey, it's fine, just do things, and was instead, oh, lots of donations happening. Thank you so much, everyone. You absolute stars. And yeah, I basically would, I wish that there was more support happening to the people who are financially struggling right now. So yeah, thank you so much for all of those donations. Like, fingers crossed we can save way more lives with that. And yeah, I trust the World Health Organization because they seem to know what they're talking about. The advice that they've given is very good. I've been following it by my to my best abilities. being the person stuck indoors. So like, I'm obviously not reading all of it because I don't need to worry about what to do when you're outside. Well, I am reading it, don't worry. So yeah, do look after yourselves. Thank you so much for the donations. Everyone's suffering right now, and let's make the world a little bit less rubbish by helping to deal with this crisis. But anyway, enough of me jabbering on. Thank you so much for the donations. I have some questions here. There was a mega thread that I started the other day of questions. There's a lot of questions. We'll try and get through as many as possible. And this week as well, also that the internet seems to not be annoying right now, which is good. Apologies last week again. It was a little bit choppy. I'm not sure what that was. I think it's just sometimes my internet just doesn't want to be the internet. So this week seems to be working, and I'm going to be here until 8:30 to sort of make up for some time last week, and also just have a little bit more space. And then from 8:30 as well, my lovely pal Luke is going to be reading some ghost stories again over on his channel. There's a link in the description, and I will try and pop a link in at the end as well. But yeah, Kay Nevick says, don't jinx it, Ellen. Oh, touch wood. There we go. Hit my desk. Bet that sounded great for you guys. So here we are again. A lovely Sunday. Let's have a read. So question number 1 at the top of this thread, with 14 likes to it as well. LJ 1985 asks, excluding anything to do with the current pandemic, a blue hyperactive Robin Williams grants you 3 wishes. What would you ask for? How different would these choices be today to the ones you may have had as a kid? Would you use one to cure your cystinuria? Well, when I was a kid, I probably would have wanted like a Pegasus, because flying horse, why not? And yeah, I wanted a cat. Still kind of want a cat, but that's like doable as an adult. Like, it's just, yeah, if I had wishes, I'd wish for everyone to have access to housing, because it's hard enough. Like, I'm someone who's been living at home and saving up money to try and have a deposit and buy things, but the housing market is ridiculous. And yeah, just to make homes affordable for people, so that you don't so that it's not impossible to buy a place. Like, I can't live where I grew up. Fulham is where I grew up, and it's so expensive. It's impossible for me to buy a 1-bed flat. Even if I lived with someone, it would be a stretch. So yeah, I just want it. I know so many people in the same situation, and like worse situations, because they're also like having to pay rent. I'm in an extremely privileged situation. I can live with family, and so many millennials have done the thing where they move home, save up money, and then buy somewhere, because that's the only way that you can do it. And so many people don't have that privilege, because the privilege for me is my family is in London, so I still can work. But I have friends who've moved to London, can't do that without leaving London where all their work is. So yeah, I would like housing to be affordable. Another thing so would you use, so as a question is, would you use one to cure your cystinuria? Hell yeah. Yeah, I really would. I hate it. It is like, I have to drink so much. I have to pee all the time. And like, it's a lot, and it's just that like feeling guilty if I've not drunk enough when I've been drinking a lot, but like I have to drink so much. And just kidney stone pain itself is awful. Like, I can describe it. It's like your insides are about to explode. You feel your insides are about to explode. You feel like you're going to pop, but in a very specific place in your back. It's horrible, and yeah, just no kidney stones, please. And then the other one I mentioned, my sister has chronic pain. I would like my sister to not have chronic pain anymore. That would be great. That would be great. Because there are other things that I do have, it's within my power to change. Like, but I can't change the housing market like that. I can't cure my cystinuria, and I can't cure chronic pain. So the things that I can't have, like the things that I don't have it in my power to do, I'd be like, Jeannie, please help. And yeah, it's Robin Williams, wasn't he bloody lovely? Anyway, that's a good question. Flo, how is your family dealing with your quarantine life at the moment? In that, are they constantly needing to look out for you, or do they now more than ever try to give you additional personal space? What behaviour of your family benefits your what behaviour of your family benefits your well-being more? Also, on a scale from Hobbit to Nelly, how ickle is your father? Yeah, I'm taller than my dad by like an inch, half an inch. Not like in metrics, that's about 1 or 2 centimeters ish. I'm like just taller than him, and that means I rub it in his face. Cheers from Hamburg, Germany. Stay safe. Thank you, Flo. Family, we get on pretty well. We're all pretty chill. The other day, my mum dropped some eggs, and it sounded like she'd cut her finger off or something. I really freaked out, because there is that thing of like, we can't just get more eggs. We have to wait until the next thing. So like, we have those stresses, but we're all very, like, we all get on very well, but we're all very independent as well. And yeah, we all give and like they're being amazing, because like today I'm like, I'm gonna stream, so you have to be very quiet. And that's the joy of like living with someone who streams all the time. They will tell you to shut up. Sorry, I've got to turn down your radio. You have to do something, put your headphones in, bye. So I'm very appreciative of their patience. And we're all just being very safe and careful, and yeah, just trying not to be silly, really. Well, being silly in a good way, but trying not to do dumb things that will get us in, like, put us in harm's way. Davidtron Lebosta. That's a cool name, if I've said that correctly. Even if I haven't said it correctly, it's still a cool name. Is it stressful to be a YouTuber, and how do you manage your stress? Especially in relation to personal relationships and work relationships. For example, you look such good friends, but does work ever strain that? I'm assuming you mean with the OX team. Everyone has their moments where you get stressed out by work, and then like it's part of working as a team in that you help everyone get through that. We work really well, and yeah, YouTube can be stressful. It can be stressful. Like, I do have those moments where I'm like, oh, I remember, Ellen, when the stress was because of a spreadsheet that wasn't working, that you didn't like doing it anyway, and like the other stress was like having to worry about getting an exam done, or like finishing a piece of coursework that you thought was going to affect your life forever. And this, if you don't get this video done, like if something happens to Premiere and it doesn't quite work or whatever, like, you work with a team of people who are really understanding and work together, and we all help each other. And yeah, at the end of the day, it is just a YouTube video. So like, don't worry. Don't like it. It's stressful. It's stressful. It can be stressful. The biggest stress, which I think we're all everyone is feeling right now, everyone who's having to work from home, is not being able to separate your work from your time off, which sometimes that blurs, and that is a different type of stress. And like, you have the stress of being an online personality sometimes. You're kind of like a beacon, a little bit of a lightning bolt for certain negative stuff, but also you get... So it's all good. It's all good. And well, it's not all good. It's something that you can sort of work through and find ways to fix. Purple Monkey Dishwasher says, what this? Talk properly, Ellen. What books, movies or shows scared you the most as a kid? Do any of them still scare you? I just started watching the Dark Crystal show on Netflix and I realised the Skeksis still freak me out as much as they did my 5-year-old self. Thank you, Ellen. Stay safe, sane and sanitised. Actually, see that posted there? That is from a show called The Trapdoor. Wonderful British animated series, stop motion animation, voiced predominantly by Willie Rushton, British comedian who was on the radio a lot, on a show called I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, which I loved. And we recently lost Tim Brooke Taylor, who was also on that show. Very sad to lose him to Corona. So great. Let's not cry on stream, Ellen. But yeah, this show I was obsessed with as a kid. But it's also like there's some scary bits in it. And there was one big horrible red monster that comes out the trapdoor. So the story is they live in a castle. He works for the thing upstairs, Burke, feed me. And there's a trapdoor. And the theme is don't you open that trap. The lines are there. Don't you open that trapdoor. You're a fool if you dare. Stay away from that trapdoor because there's something down there. And so every week it's a different monster that comes out the trapdoor. Because they either forget to lock it, something breaks out, or like they open it because they think, oh, what could be wrong, you know. And yeah, and there's this one where this big red thing comes out, and I didn't like it. It was just like a big round monster with big eyes, big hands, and that used to really scare me at points. And then I got the DVD collection, like talking about whether it still scares you. And I was like, oh, this is okay. But then I saw another one where it's this monster that's like a big round thing. It's got like this horrible like clown laugh because it's trying to like find out about all of them, and it asks loads of questions. And I'm like, that's what scares me. Stop asking me questions. That's why I'm doing a Q&A. Oh god. But yeah, and it's still it can creep you out. It's yeah, but it's such a good show. Like, watch it. It's so good. The theme tune is legit. Yeah, thank you, Ellen. Stay safe, sane, and sanitized. Thank you. But yeah, Skeksis are scary. They're scary things. Right, Gethin Pierce. What hobbies, other than video games, have you been doing in lockdown? Is there anything you'd like to give a try? I've been painting a lot of miniatures myself. Oh, very nice. I've actually, for those of you who've seen that I bring out my trumpet every once in a while on the OX streams, I've been trying to relearn the trumpet because I like haven't played it in years. So I'm just trying to relearn the basics. I did get to like grade 3, although my teacher said that I played at a grade 5 level. But yeah, like officially I did grade 3. And yeah, I just want to get back into it a little bit. So yeah, there's that. And video games. Oh, are we buffering a little bit? I've gone red. It's gone red. Hang on. I'm sorry, guys. We are going down a little bit again. David DT says, do you remember Around the Twist? That always used to scare me. Yeah, there was some scary stuff there. Hang on. Right. Let's see. Oh no, it's getting... Why is it? Why is it right at, like... this time? Bear with me, guys. Fortunately, when the... like, I think when the VOD goes up, at least the sound is okay. Oh, the buffering is real. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Hello? Does this work? Oh my goodness. So I did a speed test on my internet. It's like, your internet's fast. So it's not my internet. I think it was just OBS being like, nee. I think it was the connection from OBS to here. That's just the joy of it. Let's go back to some questions. Man. Yeah, I've been playing the trumpet. I used to be grade 3. I got grade 3. Bad at sight reading. That was the only thing. Not like I could play if someone played a tune to me and told me what notes they were, I could play it and it would be the same. If they gave me the sheet music, I'd be like, okay, I've got to really practice at this. So yeah. Ryan Ho says, after quarantine ends, what are your next personal and professional goals, short and long term? Personal goals is I would like to travel again, please. I'd like to go places. I think travel really broadens the mind. It's definitely broadened mine. And I just want to go see things. I want to see things that aren't the inside of my house. That would be great. And professional, I'd like to do like more on this channel. I would like outside extra to do lots of cool stuff, continue to do cool stuff and try new things as well. I would like to do more live shows because it's always fun, and we've had to like hold off on doing some this year already, so yeah. Yeah, that's a couple of things. So yeah, and personal, I'd like to get my own place. That is a goal. That's the ultimate goal. Is to like be an adult with my own place. It's just London's expensive, so the Genie Wish housing market thing happen, please. Siddharth Selvarajan, if I've said that right. Where do you buy your animal counterpart toys? Do you decide your next animal shape after seeing the toy in advance, or do you search for it after deciding the animal form? Aha! Yes. In D&D, I play a druid, and one of the abilities that I have is wild shape, so I can turn into animals, and I select those animals. I choose the animal first. I think that needs to reflect the character, which is a small reflection of me, and yeah, like, so I decided to be a cat, like straight off at the bat, but I wanted to try and have something to show that, but I didn't have that in time for the first one. I don't think I did. But the first one was a toy cat from Paper Tiger. It's a Danish shop that they're in the UK as well. They're all over. They're very good. And my mum got it for me. I was like, just told my family to like keep an eye out for a toy in the shape of a cat, that is sort of like close to brown. The only ones they had were grey and ginger, so she got me the grey one. Eventually I would like to get like a proper wild cat one, but they're very difficult to find. But hopefully I want to go on holiday to Scotland again, and they might have them in a gift shop somewhere. The bear, I decided on the day of the time I turned into a bear, I think. And so yeah, that was just like, I came home and I was like, have we got any bears? And my mum like found this like adorable, she was like, we've got this tiny adorable one, and I was like, that's hilarious, I'm using that one. And the octopus, I looked online and found it's like a proper puppet, so that's the one that I've actually like spent probably too much money on. But it's really good. It's a really good puppet, and I have a lot of fun doing the like thing of it. Like I like the way the octopuses move. It's weird. It's great. God Machine asks, whenever you reflect on your past, do you ever have any regrets or guilt on decisions you have or could have made, or do you use them to learn from them and look forward? I think every single time, everyone everyone has got one of those memories where you look back on and you go, oh my goodness, I can't believe that. Like, there's so many things, like, as I've learnt more things, like, as I've become more socially aware of different things, like, there's things that I said, like, probably 5 years ago, and I look back on now and I'm like, oh, I can't believe I used that word, or I explained it like that. And there's things on my channel that I look back and I'm like, oh, I've not explained that well, or that sounds so, like, divisive and bored, like, that's not accepting it, or like, that's a word that I've learnt that people don't like anymore, and I'm like, oh, and yeah, like, not loads, obviously, because otherwise I'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm the worst, please cancel me. But, like, I think, yeah, there's always something that we can learn from, and yeah, learn from it. Definitely learn from it, and look for, like, always be like, I am sorry. Like, always actually apologize. Don't do non-apologies. None of this non-apology crap. Like, oh, I'm sorry if you were offended. What? No. I'm sorry I used that word. I'm sorry I didn't think of it in that way. Like, it's okay. Like, not that it's fine to be wrong sometimes, but it's okay to accept that you're wrong sometimes. Like, some people assume that I'm one of these people that's like, no, I'm always right. No. Like, sometimes I, like, have an argument with someone, then I'm like, no, that's my bad. Sorry. No, that was on me. And I think it's so important to own that, and be willing to be wrong sometimes. I think a lot of problems that we have right now stem from people not willing to admit that they were wrong. Like, it's okay to admit that you were wrong, as long as you, like, learn from it. It's fine. Yeah, learn from it. Yeah. Any regret on decisions you've made? Though, in particular, I'm of the, like, I subscribe to the idea of, like, hey, I wouldn't be where I was if all the things that happened in my life didn't happen. If I didn't, like, chase that dream, or if I didn't chase, like, that one instead, or if I'd focused on, then maybe things would be different. I think, gosh, I've gone all rambly there. I think it's important to be like, oh, learn from what's happened to you, and that everything that has happened to you has led you to where you are now, and there's today, like, here, this is where you're meant to be, or whatever. But also, I wish that you didn't always have to go through crap to get to the good bits. Like, it would be nice if some of the things that I went through in my past didn't happen, because there are some lessons that I didn't need to learn because I already knew stuff. Not being like, I know everything, but, like, not everyone has to go through hardships to have a nice time at the end of it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying here, but, like, yeah, I wish, like, there's, you know, the good times and the bad, but sometimes I wish that, like, there are some good, like, bad times that are just pointless. Sometimes it's pointless. Anyway, but we can't just think like that constantly, because otherwise we'd all go mad. So look on the bright side. Do look on the bright side. Glass half full. Be annoyed. You're allowed to be annoyed at bad things that happen to you, is basically what I'm saying. Such a rant. Sorry. Such a unthought out rant. Okay. Miramad says, okay, this is going to be a long one. First, I want to thank you, Neo8's crew, for making entertaining and enjoyable content for us during the quarantine. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Second, which is your favourite music genre? I like pop punk, like emo-ish, whatever you like, just any, like, Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy and My Chemical Romance and that sort of stuff I was very into. Linkin Park, but then I also really like Britney Spears and Aqua, like Taking Back Sunday, Trying to think of different ones. Basically anything that was like on a Kerrang mix CD. Kerrang being a British magazine that would sometimes do compilation albums about it's like rock music and things like that. I'm very like, I have a wide array of tastes when it comes to music. Third, what do you think about metal, both gorish like death metal and the ones that are less gorish like thrash and nu metal? I was a big nu metal fan when I was a kid. Last week I asked you about System of a Down. I found out that you're a System of a Down fan. Really made me happy to find that out. But are there any other metal bands that you like? For example, Slipknot, Korn, Slayer. Korn do the best cover of Word Up by Cameo. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Like the original is obviously like, but their cover, Freak on a Leash as well. Like I'm very like surface level knowledge of those bands. I'm someone that I don't know enough about metal to be like, yeah, I love metal. But when I hear good metal, I'm like, ooh, yes. Like there's something just very good. So like it's a very like visceral. Is it visceral that I want to say? Like kind of like you get your body reacts to it because it's just so much power in it. I've recently gotten into Poppy, who is like very pop metal. It's like she's just, it's like, just go listen to Poppy. I think she's like a YouTuber as well. I don't know fully. I've just been listening to her stuff on Spotify, and then it was like at the end it was like, by the way, here's the info about this song. She's done this and this, and I'm like, what? She sounds good. So yeah, go listen to her. She's good. And I want to know if there's any movie or TV series or games that you enjoyed during quarantine and want to recommend to us. And Xbox Series X or PS5. I don't like. One of them we've kind of seen and one of them we don't really know, but it sounds cool. I just like consoles. PC is also good. I just want more video games. Stay safe. Thank you very much. Movies, stuff I've enjoyed during quarantine. Middleditch and Swatch. I cannot. What? I'm so sorry. Middleditch and Swatch. Well, I've still not said that correctly. Excellent improv show. My friend recommended it to me, and I was laughing out loud through most of it. It was so funny. You might think, oh my god, a 45-minute improv show? No, thank you. But it's so funny because it's just two friends making each other laugh. It's great. And if you've not watched The Good Place, watch The Good Place. And I've also been watching New Girl because I totally missed it when... Well, I watched a few episodes, but it was always like... This was before On Demand, and I would always miss it because it was on, in the UK, T4, which is Channel 4's teen and young people thing. And then on E4 a little bit as well. And I wasn't a regular TV watcher by that point because I was at uni and watching a ton of YouTube, and yeah. Patrick Schultz says check out Tungsten, Osmium, Cobalt, all good metals. Good joke on the metals joke. New Girl is good, and it's all in LA, and as someone who's like visited there, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go there again one day. Someday. The Surfer, sorry, or the Server, I don't know how to say your username, I'm very sorry. Asks, what are your thoughts on E3 being cancelled, possibly forever? What's the most work put into a video that never got released? Okay, E3, it's interesting. Like, E3 has changed a lot while I've been going there. The first year that I went, it was just press. And then the next year, it was open to the public. And ask anyone who works in press, and they will tell you how much harder it was working the second year that I went. It just made it a lot more difficult to do the work, and it looked like it was turning more into a consumer focused event, which is interesting because really, like, I felt like when I know people who, like, I met people who had gone there and bought the public tickets, and like queued 6 hours to play Mario, and that was their day, and they paid a lot of money for that, and I thought, that's not nice. But hey, and like, Broadly Fantasy said E3 is always a consumer event. But it is, like, in terms of stuff that is online, it's showing the press what it is so that then they can show it to the consumers. And like the live streams are very focused at the consumers, and that is brilliant. That's the point. What I'm talking about is like the actual event. Like, it was mostly like they sold too many. There was too many people there. And people, yeah, it's not. Roddy McCann says it's an expo compared to a convention too, so it should be that way. Yeah, like, because it was an expo, an exposition. It was like, I don't know really how to explain it, but it's not like Gamescom, which is more of an actual convention with a press bit attached to it, which I think works well for anyone who needs to, like, go and actually cover the games for news outlets and things like that, but still allow people to, like, consumers, to go and actually try the games, which I think is really important to get hands on. So yeah. But I don't know. It's really interesting. I'll be interesting to see what happens next year with it. I'm intrigued. But I think it's not the same beast that it used to be. So yeah. What's the most work you put into a video that never got released? Well, on here I have countless times recorded a video and then scrapped it. So that's why I never upload on it, because I am very fussy, and I'm like, no, I don't like it, and I didn't think that was good, or I like get halfway through the edit and I'm like, this isn't a good video, I'll get rid of it. So that's sometimes what happens. That's probably what would have happened if this was just a recording, because I am talking nonsense today. It's been a weird week. It has been a really weird week. I've had a lot of really, like, lovely moments, but then also just like, it's just plumbing conga lines. And anyway, Ringtail 899, what London specific things do you miss most while being in lockdown? Do you have any recommendations for people travelling there in future? I miss the River Thames. I really miss the Thames. I like rivers in general. Running water is, like, just something extremely relaxing to me. Lakes as well. It doesn't even have to be running water. Just fresh, especially fresh water. Like, I love the sea, I love the ocean, but there's something about, like, rivers and streams and lakes. And the Thames, despite the fact that it's, like, brown, but that's because it's dredged. It's actually very clean water. Much cleaner than it used to be. Used to be basically a sewer hundreds of years ago. But now it's pretty clean. It's just that because it gets dredged for all the boats. So it's just particles of soil in it. So don't drink it, but it's pretty clean. Yeah, I miss walking by the Thames. I miss going into, I love, like, Soho's really cool. I miss going to Chinatown. There's, like, really good restaurants there. There's a good bakery there that you like to go and get buns from. And there's a really good there's a really good Japanese restaurant that I like there called Tokyo Diner. It's a classic. Go try it when it's open again. Yeah, I just like walking around London, and just, like, having some headphones in and just listening to music and taking the atmosphere of London, because it's a cool city. I also like sitting down and watching the world go by in London, because so much is happening. I like people watching and just zoning out a little bit. It's nice. It's really nice. It's a good place to do that in London. You wouldn't think that London is a nice place to zone out because everyone thinks it's all go, 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 but there's times that you can chill. It's really good. Also, if you're ever here, go to the Museum of London. That's my favourite museum. It's the history of London. It's very interesting. Goes way back to even before London existed, and you learn about the plague and the fire of London and all that jazz. It's good. Alex Bristol, are there any specific games, musicians, all-around artists in general that you can't enjoy the work of anymore due to their beliefs or actions? What about people do you like more because of their actions? Okay. You don't have to be specific with anything bad, of course. Just wondering because I know both have happened with me. Yeah, I think there's people that I really admire the work of even more as I've learned that they're like a even nicer person than I even realised. So, well, one person, I met the wonderful Bernie Burns from Rooster Teeth, and he's just really nice, and I've met a lot of the Rooster Teeth guys, and they're all just so genuinely nice. So when I see them on camera, I know how nice they are. I'm like, that is them being genuine people, and like just the amazing work that they do with like RT Extra Life and stuff like that, like Jack Patillo raising tons of money with like just can't believe the amazing work that they do. Him and Katie do so much for charity, and they're good. And then you've got, I'm a big fan of Eddie Izzard. Every time he opens his mouth, like, to talk about like rights and good things, I like him. The other end of the scale, I used to be a big fan of Father Ted, Graham Linehan. I've actually had an internet Twitter discussion with him once. Tried to be like, hey, could you not be awful to trans people? And it didn't go awfully for me, but it was severely disappointing. It was severely disappointing. And just seeing he's kind of gone off the rails recently, which is, it's a shame. It's someone that I really respected and admire the work. Like, I admired his work so much. Like, Black Books, huge fan. I love the IT Crowd, and I just don't feel like I can watch it anymore. So, yeah. Oh, everyone chatting about how nice the Rooster Teeth guys are. They are. They're really lovely. They're very sweet. Tom Titherington, did you ever meet Eddie Izzard? No, I've not met Eddie Izzard. Sadly, if he's someone that if I met, I would play it cool and then cry as soon as I turn the corner. So, someone else who I like think is even cooler now. Oh my! I'm like this with names. Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill. That's the one. Just seeing him on Twitter makes me so happy because he's like he retweeted something in support, and then everyone went. That was a little bit kind of transphobic, and then he didn't realise, and then was like, oh, I'm sorry about that, I won't do that again, sorry about that, everyone's welcome here. And I was like, yes. And also he's just funny and nice and very sweet. I would absolutely die if I met him. He's someone that I would also he came to mind because he's someone that I said if I ever met him, I would be cool to his face, and then as soon as I was out of eye and earshot, like, I would just sob. And like, I'd mentioned him in this tweet because I was just saying about like what a good guy he was from the response to this like misjudged retweet, because I was like, he's handled this so well, and continues to be one of my favourite people, and he liked that tweet. So He knows. If he ever meets me, and then, like, as I walk off, he'll know what I'm about to do. He knows I'm going to turn the corner and be like, So, that's my cool card just gone. Anyway. Right, well, we're nearly, it's at 10 to 8, so I'm going to switch over to the chat. There's a lot of really good ones. While we wait for that, there is one really nice one from Nevermore, who asks, have you ever had a wait, what am I doing and how did I get here moment? Not necessarily in a bad way. Always. Every single trip that I've ever gone to a new country, I'm someone that as a kid I didn't travel at all much because my family just didn't have the money to. All of our holidays were staying with friends. And the tickets were booked months in advance so that we could afford them. So like every time I'm like in a hotel in another country, I'm like, what? Like, how did I get here? Literally to this place. And just like meeting cool people within the industry that I've been a big fan of and admired the work of. It's ridiculous. I'm extremely fortunate. And yeah, I'm just really, really honoured to be where I am and have the opportunities that I have. So yeah, let's have a look in the chat. Let's have a look for some questions. Everyone be cool in the chat, please. Everyone, I want the chat to be a nice space that everyone feels safe and welcome. S150N says kid in a candy shop, haha. Yes, I am like it. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm in another country. Woo! It's always ridiculously exciting. Bishopster says, do you watch Jim Sterling and what do you think of him? Smiley face. I was on Pogquisition. I was on a Pogquisition. I like Jim Sterling. I think some people can be quite critical of him because a lot of his content is very negative, but he did do a video the other week saying about how all the positive stuff that he also does just doesn't get the views. And I understand that. Like, I understand that annoyance because I enjoy all of his content, and I think like I think we need to have voices from all different sides. In terms of like, we need to have people supporting the industry, and also we need to be critical of the industry to make sure that it's all like that people aren't being taken advantage of, basically. And yeah, I've tended to agree with him on a lot of things. So yeah, he's good. I like Jim. He's like just also a very good human as well. Like his content is like, he might come across as a very angry, negative person, but it definitely comes from a place of love for and respect for other people, definitely. Robin Webb asks favourite Animal Crossing villager. Right now, I love Eric, the little kind of elk moose guy. He's adorable. His house is like snow. He wears a little sweatshirt. He walks around eating candy a lot of the time. So cute. But actually, Marshall is amazing. And he calls me Canapé now. Marshall sent me a message, right? Because you can get in your little post box, you can get messages from other villagers who sent you post. And he sent me a post saying like, oh, you mean a lot to me and I'm really glad that we're friends, and I'm too shy to say this to your face, but I think you're great and now I'll be normal now. Okay, bye. And I was like, that's so cute. I was like looking at my Switch, tearing up at a fictional squirrel saying that he thinks I'm cool. Like, get it together, Ellen. Hang on. Angel Beat asks Kingdoms of Amalur. Feyblades, yay or nay? Yay! Yeah, Feyblade's pretty cool. Gavin McFarlane says, Ellen, have you seen Ragnarok on Netflix? I love it. No, I haven't. I'll give it a look. Rob Stewart says, was Severus Snape a hero or a villain? Like, I always loved Snape, and I was glad that in the end that, like, spoilers for the very end of Harry Potter, that he actually was a good guy. But I do think that there is something to be discussed about the fact that the only reason he did it was because he was obsessed with Harry's mum. You've grown fond of the boy. No, it was just because I loved his mum and I'm just doing it for her. That's like, there's always a like, I think intent is is sort of important as well when it comes to what you do, to a point. Okay, let's have a look. Timothy Dye says, room tour? Maybe one day, but I've got a lot of washing over there. So, Mr. Sandman 31, what Hogwarts house are you? I am, there's a thing there with my name on it, Gryffindor. I'm also a little bit Hufflepuff, I will admit. I did the Pottermore thing, and the first time it came out Hufflepuff. But I think my indignation at that proves that I'm not Hufflepuff. Because you've really got to love being in Hufflepuff, and I love Hufflepuff. Like, Tonks is one of my favourite characters, and she's a Hufflepuff. And I think there's some fantastic characters in Hufflepuff. But I want to be in that Gryffindor common room. I want that fireplace. I want to be in a tower. That's the thing. I don't want to be down next to the kitchens. I mean, yeah, cool, next to all the food, but I want to be up. I want to look out a window and see a view. And yeah, I just think, for the longest time as a teenager, I wanted to be Ravenclaw because I didn't want to be Gryffindor, because everyone wants to be Gryffindor. But I knew in my heart of hearts, even then, that I was a Gryffindor, and I was just too afraid to say that I was a Gryffindor because I thought that everyone would turn around and say, oh, you're just saying Gryffindor because Harry Potter's in Gryffindor. So, yeah, there was a lot of internal shame there when it came to realising that I was a Gryffindor. So, yeah. Rod Nutton just says, AC Valhalla. Yeah, I'm excited. Very, very excited about that. A few people, Hufflepuff for life. I love you, Hufflepuffs, man. We will hang out. We will hang out all the time. I will always have time for Hufflepuff. Diet Coke fan account asks, favourite soft drink? Water. It's not my favourite, actually. No, I can't really drink a lot of soft drinks because they actually can dehydrate you, especially if, like, they're Diet Coke and things that have caffeine in them. So I have a lot of herbal infusions instead. So I drink a lot of warm drinks, actually. And try not to spill drinks on myself all the time. Yeah. Oh, where is that? Where has that gone? Where has that gone? There was a good question. Hang on. Hang on. No, I've lost it. There you are. Sweet Monkey Tuesday asks, what's your Pottermore Petronas? It's a calico cat, which is a cat that is 3 colours. So it's usually white, orange and black. And it's cute. It's so cute. Hayden M asks, did Carol Baskin kill her husband? I think this is in regards to Tiger King. I have been starting to watch that because my sister watched it and she was like, please watch it. I need to talk to you about it. Watching that show, I'm just like, there's so many awful people in this world and they're all in this show. I'm being extremely judgmental here, but oh my goodness, just I don't understand any of them. Just like there's parts of their lives that I'm very sympathetic about. But also just why do you need to have a leopard in your garden? I don't know. Anyway, are you gonna make a video about it? Says the Life of Gregor. I'm not gonna make a video about Tiger King. I just it's the weirdest thing I have ever watched. Like I do enjoy kind of the stranger kind of documentary shows like that. Like the Fire Festival ones, I ate those up. But yeah, I don't know what I could add to that other than just sit here and go, oh, it's weird. Let's have a look. Hunter M2 doing any good, interesting quarantine cooking / bakery? I do a mean avocado toast, which is basically toasting some bread and putting a tiny bit of salt and some lemon on some cut up avocados. But I can't eat many eggs because of my weird kidneys. Long story. And yeah, I've learned how to do poached eggs. So I do the avocado on toast with poached eggs. And yesterday I treated myself to some bacon. Oh yeah, because I have to eat less meat nowadays. So yeah. Patrick Schultz says, I will not watch Tiger King because it does not appeal to me. Don't watch it if you don't want to watch it. Honestly, you don't have to. Dudders 1 says, serious question, what is your favourite tube station? Oh, this is actually quite a good question. One of my favourites, because it's kind of basically the same almost as than it was years ago when it first opened up. Baker Street is really cool. That whole bit of that line along there is really cool. I have a real soft spot for Camden Town Station. It's quite unique in that you can only go out one way and go in the other, and you always have to remember which way round it is. And it's just like such a maze because the Northern Line, for those of you outside of London or who've never visited London, it splits, so there's 2 separate platforms depending on which line of the Northern Line that you want to go on, and it's hideously confusing for anyone who's not been, I would imagine. So yeah, Lindsay Langdon says, what's your favourite tea? My favourite tea, Earl Grey. It's like the most British answer ever, but I really enjoy a good Earl Grey tea. It's lovely, really good. Actually, no, scratch that. Lady Grey. There's a Lady Grey tea. It's good. It's really good. Awesome one says DC subways are my favourite. I'd love to go to DC and see the subways there. S150N, you forget Paddington Station, sad face. Well, no, I'm kind of including that little area of the Circle Line and the Hammersmith and City Line. There's like a string of stations that are just like that, and then also like Paddington Station as a mainline station is beautiful. We're really lucky in London to have all these like gorgeous looking mainline stations. I mean, if you've not visited or had the chance to visit, if you have a copy of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, they basically look the same as they did there. Just these huge like arched glass ceilings. I love that. I love that stuff. I like trains. Jay Redfield says, tea, Earl Grey, hot. Yes. God, I love Patrick's chair. Right. Alex Samara says, have you ever had Rooibos tea? If not, I highly recommend it. I need to work out how to say it because I have been saying it for years, like as Rooibos, as if like it's French, but it's not. It's Afrikaans. It's South African. And for some reason in my head, even though I knew it was South African, I was reading it in French because there's so many countries in Africa that were like French territories for a while. But yeah, yeah, that's really good. I've got some really good stuff that I actually bought from in an airport in Canada that was maple flavored. It's damn good. Alex Samara says Rooibos. Rooibos. That's it. That's it. I like saying Rude Boy because it sounds like the Rihanna song Rude Boy. Come here, Rude Boy, let me drink a cup. Come here, Rude Boy, is you brewed enough? There's a song in there. I'll think of something. Ms. Wendler says Lady Grey Tea is the best. Yeah, Lady Grey Tea is so good. Martin Lynette says miss Starbucks so much. Same. That's like the one thing on the OX team that we're all like, oh, I can't wait for like an actual coffee shop. I really want the bet that like a chai tea. So what am I saying? A chai tea. Chai is tea. A chai latte from Starbucks, specifically an oat milk chai latte, because I'm trying to drink less lactose stuff, so less milk and things. So good. I miss it. That was my treat. There was one in my local cinema. So because the Cineworld have a deal with Starbucks and I have a Cineworld card, and I would go in, get myself a discounted Starbucks, discounted oat milk latte, not oat milk chai latte. And yeah, Dudda says, I miss Veggie Pret. Oh my goodness. Oh, they did an amazing salad that they just brought out, and it had like falafel and beetroot, and it was so good. I really miss oh my goodness, what's the one? Comptoir Libanais. So it's a Lebanese place. A friend of mine actually worked on the cookbook, so that's how I was introduced to it. And it, oh my goodness, they do the just like Mediterranean food in general is just so good. Man, just miss it. Cthulian Dream says apple chai is my go-to Starbucks. Ooh, I've not heard of apple chai. Is that like a kind of... Well, it wouldn't be an infusion because chai would be property. It's apple tea. Ooh, exciting. Intriguing. Flo says top 30 pizza toppings, Alan? That we will be here forever. But my favourite pizza, I described it in one of my Q&A videos that I did with a couple of friends. It's, you get like a vegetable supreme type pizza, whichever, like that, just like the basic vegetarian pizza, and then you swap the tomato sauce for barbecue sauce and you add pineapple and sweet corn, because for some reason they don't always put sweet corn on it. It's the best, and you have it as stuffed crust with the garlic dip. It's the best way. Matt Bloody Evolution, g'day Ellen, hello. Mark Visco says, I keep seeing AC and it could either be Animal Crossing or Assassin's Creed. Now I want a crossover game. Yeah, a lot of chat, because thank you to everyone who joined on the show of the Almost Weekend that we did in I did it in Animal Crossing. That was a lot of fun. I think we might try and do it again because it was great. It was a lot of fun to do. Thank you to Flossman for donating. Thank you to everyone who has been donating. For those of you who don't know, any funds from this stream are going straight into a fund to help the World Health Organization as they try and fight this pandemic. They will provide help to, well, they are doing it right now. They're providing help to countries to help, like, get testing kits, get protection for health workers, and you know, all the masks and gloves and aprons and everything. And yeah, so if you are able to spare, I understand. If you don't, because we are all in very difficult times right now. I am an extremely privileged person who is able to work from home. Not everyone can, and I know many people who are currently unemployed because of this whole situation, so don't worry. And I want to look for ways to help you guys next week in this, do another live stream like this. So yeah, only donate if you can. But thank you so much those who have. It's really, really, really appreciated. Means a lot. Miramad says, do you know that Assassin's Creed Origins comes from the Order of Assassins, aka Hashashin, comes from... Right, yes, like the word assassin is from Hashashin. I can't say it properly, but yeah. Do you like to play a game of AC in Iran? What, like, I think that would be cool. I think, like, I really enjoyed in the first game where you're kind of, like, in the Middle East a little bit. You're in, like, running around Jerusalem a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm just always intrigued to see the Assassin's Creed series in new places and time periods. So like, I got my London fix in Syndicate, and now I'm being spoiled here because like we're getting Norway, but also England, and also during a really interesting period of time in England's history, because there was a lot of like fighting and conquests and stuff. Really cool. Hang on, wait, I just saw... Where are you? It was on... Yeah, right. Sorry, I just saw something in the chat. John the Crazed. Did you ever see that Blair Witch-like show CBBC made in 2004? It was called Jeopardy, and it was my childhood nightmare. Now, I think if I'm remembering correctly, this was an amazing show, and they actually repeated it while I was at university, and I actually managed to watch all of them because it was a series and you had to see all of them. I think it was Jeopardy. Was that the one where it was a bunch of British kids who went and camped in the outback, kind of looking for aliens, and like one by one they kind of disappeared, and it was brilliant and terrifying. And I watched it, and the thing is, I watched it all and I saw every single episode, and then I missed the last one, so I had to like look up what happened, which was really annoying. But OMG, that is, I thought I would be the only one who remembered that. It's one of those like Kingdoms of Avalon things, like only I played this, only I watched this show. It was so good. Geraint Thomas says yes, it was brilliant and terrifying, and like I can't believe that they made a kids show like that, but I'm really grateful that they did because it was just so good. That was great. Yeah, it was called... Brendan O'Leary says, yeah, it was called Jeopardy. It was brilliant. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That, like... Oh, there was such good stuff on the BBC. I'm a bit of a BBC fangirl sometimes when it comes to, like, their dramas and stuff. Oh, it's art. Blasio says, I watched this show too, Ellen. It was great, and I recently watched it again on YouTube. Still great. I'm not going to encourage that, but... Right, let's have it. I'm just going to have a sip. Have a sip of water. How's everyone doing? Oh, Sir Milky Joe, it was amazing. It won a BAFTA. Yeah, it did. I forgot that. Fredo F, 5 best games you played last year. I don't know whether they came out last year, but... lot of good games. I finished Assassin's Creed Origins. That's great. I played a bunch of Red Dead Redemption 2. That is great. I'm just like looking at my boxes to see what ones are there. I played through a bunch of Dishonored 2 and played through all of the like I basically fully finished Dishonored 2 on my Clean Hands playthrough. And absolutely love that. I played a bunch of ukulele. I really enjoyed that. The controls sometimes were a little bit of a pain because they were too 90s. Like they wanted to really recreate that experience, but I wish they had like tweaked it to be a bit more forgiving. And when I say forgiving, I just like less fiddly is the thing. But yeah, good. Nerdozoid says Days Gone. I really enjoyed Days Gone. It was so buggy, and it wasn't brilliant. Like in terms, it's not like one of these games that I'm like, you have to play. It's a game that I'm like, I couldn't stop playing it. So yeah, Hunter M2 says honk. Yeah, Goose Game. It's just so good. It's just brilliant. Nick and Jay said, I would love to see Ellen play Dead by Daylight. Lol. Yeah, I would just panic. It'll be great. I want to play it. I've got a friend who wants to play with me because he thinks it would be really funny. And it probably would. So yeah, I'm going to give it a go. I would really, really, really like it. Danny McNamara says, ukulele I did enjoy, mainly Kartos I did not. I know the Kartos things were the worst. And then there was the Kartos one where you fought the big thing that was supposed to look like a Kinect, because all of the people that worked on ukulele used to work for Rare, and when Microsoft bought Rare, they made them make a look like Kinect sports games rather than like the platformers that they were good at doing. There were a couple of like things that Microsoft have made bad decisions with their studios in the past, and they seem to be learning from those mistakes nowadays. So yeah. What's your favourite horror game? I don't really play horror games because I'm too scared to. Do you watch any esports? Asks Sono Frivadin. If you do, who is your favourite esports team? I don't really watch a lot. Like when I do, I get really into it and I like get sucked into it. But I just don't. I don't have the time to watch it. If that's the thing. Like it's like I love football. But I kind of just like keep an eye on like the league tables and stuff when they're happening. And like I don't have time to like dedicate every single week to watching stuff, and I think it's the same with esports a little bit. Let's have a look. Visible Wizard asks, would you play Alien Isolation with Andy for a charity live stream? Maybe. Like there's things that I think I would be okay doing it if it was in a live stream, because I can at least pretend that people are there and I can talk as if someone's in the room with me. But Awesome One says the only time I watch soccer is the World Cup. I think that's the case for a lot of people, because there's just so much of it. There's so much football. It's just, man. Daniel asks, how is process coming along on the Tingle Room? There is no Tingle Room in my Animal Crossing house. It's just the outfit that I used to freak out. Luke, if for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it was in the Animal Crossing show of the weekend that we did. You can go and enjoy that on Outside Extra. Let's have a look. Gosh, so many questions. Oh my goodness. Jeffrey Hart says, I know it's PS4 exclusive, but I'm feeling hyped for the Ghost of Tsushima. I mean, I covered that game. I don't want, like, please, Jeffrey, don't feel like I'm attacking you at all. It's all fine, and I'm probably misreading this. I get this a lot because we work with Outside Xbox. People think that I only play Xbox and that I don't do other things, but like Outside Extra was created for the purpose of covering PlayStation and Nintendo and PC titles. We don't do enough PC, but we're trying to change that. So it's quite funny when people are always apologizing to me for playing PlayStation games and being excited for PlayStation games when they're the games that I'm covering. So, like, I actually went to a behind closed doors chat about Ghost of Tsushima at E3 a couple of years ago, and it looks really good. And yeah, I'm really excited for that. I think it'll be good. And yeah, PlayStation is good. I like PlayStation, I like Nintendo and Xbox. I like all of them. Richard Smith, wait, you've played the Switch? Yeah, the Animal Crossing. Are you being funny? I don't know whether people are being funny. Krizar says, chat is moving so fast. Haha, it is. So many people. Thank you so much for joining. How many people have we got watching right now? 1,144.49. Oh, wow. Thank you very much to everyone who's spending their Sunday/Saturday. No, that's not how days work, Helen. Monday morning further forward around the world. Oh, hello to the house that Jack built. It's my friend Matt. Do go and check out his channel. He does very good film critiques and breakdowns and just good stuff. Go watch him. Katie Douglas, wait, you play video games? Cancelled. No. No. Chantal Fabry says, is it worth having both an Xbox and a PlayStation? It completely depends on your budget. But if you can afford it, I personally, I love the achievement system on Xbox. I think it's better than the trophy system. But I think on PlayStation 4, they've got better exclusives. I like the fact that on Xbox, you have more crossplay. So a friend of mine has a PC. He doesn't have an Xbox, so we can play some games together, which is really good. And then I would like that more on PlayStation 5 whenever that rolls around, please. Maybe even also on 4. So yeah, there are pros and cons to both systems depending on what you want, really. But if you're into the strong single person like experiences, like you're gonna be very well catered for on the PlayStation. But yeah, I've just invested more in Xbox systems over the years. In terms of, I played a lot on the Xbox 360. So, and then I worked like for Xbox, being completely transparent here. I worked on Xbox On, which meant I was basically making videos for Xbox. So I have a lot of love for Xbox, but then also I have a lot of love for PlayStation. I think the console wars are dumb. And I think I'm really excited for what PlayStation have coming up, basically. I would like to see more of their system that's coming up next. That would be great. There's only 5 minutes. So someone chatted in the chat. Let's have a look. Colin McCormick, I have PS4, but also like Xbox as well. Like, they're all good. We're all good. Martin Lynette, have you played the Gears games? Not really. I have watched friends play it. I remember when Gears of War first came out, and I was around my then boyfriend, his sister and her husband were playing it, and we just kind of watched them play it, and it looked really fun. And I played it for a little bit. I think I did like 5 minutes, and then I was like, oh no, scary monsters, because yeah, I used to be quite when it came to I used to get like stressed out playing games sometimes. Like, there was a very specific type of game that I preferred to play. Like, I wasn't really a first person shooter, third person shooter type person, even though I spent a lot of time playing San Andreas, which is a third person shooter, but it sometimes, because it was an open world game, it felt different. It wasn't as scripted, and yeah, I was always like waiting in like for that scripted moment to happen. I used to hate first person games as well, because it took ages for me to get used to not having peripheral vision on the screen. That's a little fact for you. McFreeze 22MC, what about Nintendo? Love Nintendo. Great. Animal Crossing is my life right now. Matt Bloody Evolution says Vegemite. Not really. It's the same as Marmite-ish. And I'm not... Oh, I like Twiglets, weirdly. So, yeah. BethDeath77 says, "Hi, Ellen. Can you send well wishes to my daughter Hannah for her upcoming surgery, gallbladder removal?" Oh, Hannah, good luck. Take care of yourself. And, yeah, get well soon. All right? Drink lots of fluids. Look after yourself. Antonio Lau, Ellen, opinions on Minecraft. I have been playing it a lot with a friend of mine, and we've been trying to get as many achievements as possible, and I've got the achievement for having 20 cat friends. That's my priorities. Lindsay Langdon says, "This has been a lovely stream, Ellen. Thank you." Thank you, guys. There was a little bit of a hiccup at one point. I don't believe it was my internet. I believe it was just OBS. So next time, I'm going to just try and quit OBS and kick it into gear again. YouTube is very nice and forgiving on the YouTube end when it comes to having, like, the stream just start up again, which is good. I'm just going to get, if I can get the right link, my lovely friend Luke, after this stream, will be watching... be reading, sorry. You should go watch him reading some things, some spooky ghost stories, some very old, uncopyrighted anymore, ghost stories, Victorian ghost stories, and he's very good at reading them, and has a cool, spooky background with a fireplace, and it's good, and you should join him. In the meantime, I just want to say thank you so much for being here, and for listening to me ramble for an hour and a half. Oh my goodness. I'm going to pop that link in the chat to Luke's stream. Matthias Xavier says, "Don't forget the doggies friends also." What? Well, hi to any doggies and cats watching. Sometimes people send me pictures of their pets watching, and it's great. Like any of my work. It's wonderful. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful evening. Look after yourselves. I would suggest stay home. Wash your dang hands. Don't go out unless you need to. Think of other people. Thank you so much to all the people that donated, and to people who can't. Don't worry, I'm looking out for you. All right, we'll try and do something for you next week. Thank you for joining. I'm rambling now. Bye. You are all fabulous. Bye.